Aaron Rodgers has long been considered one of the most gifted quarterbacks in NFL history. With his unmatched accuracy, football IQ, and ability to make impossible throws look effortless, Rodgers didn't just play the game, he redefined it. From his early years taking over for Brett Favre to leading the Packers to a Super Bowl victory, to winning 4 league MVPs, his career has been nothing short of legendary. But today, that legacy faces a defining crossroads. After being traded to the New York Jets in one of the most hyped off-season moves in recent memory, expectations were sky high. Fans believed Rodgers was the final piece to bring a struggling franchise back to glory. Then, just 4 plays into the season, disaster struck. A torn Achilles ended his debut before it truly began. Since then, the questions have mounted about his future. At age 41, coming off a major injury, with a team that still lacks true identity and cohesion, is this really the end of the road? This video takes a deep dive into the unraveling of Aaron Rodgers' career. We'll explore how injuries, age, off-field distractions, and shifting priorities are all contributing to what could be his final season. Has Rodgers already played his last meaningful snap? Or can he defy the odds one more time? Whether you're a die-hard Jets fan, a Packers loyalist, or just a football purist, this story is about much more than stats. It's about legacy, identity, and knowing when it's time to let go. Aaron Rodgers is facing the most important decision of his career, and after this season, everything may change. Before the doubt, before the injuries, before the drama, there was greatness. Aaron Rodgers entered the league in 2005 with a chip on his shoulder. Dropping to the 24th pick in the draft after sitting in the green room longer than expected, Rodgers began his career behind one of the NFL's most iconic figures, Brett Favre. For 3 years, he waited, studied, and prepared. When the moment finally came, he didn't just take the job, he owned it. Rodgers quickly proved he wasn't just a successor. He was a revelation. Over the next decade, he dominated defenses with surgical precision, lightning-quick releases, and a sixth sense for extending plays. His 2010 Super Bowl run, capped by a commanding victory over the Steelers, solidified his place among the NFL elite. But that was only the beginning. He became a 4-time MVP, a quarterback with a career touchdown-to-interception ratio that shattered records, and a master of the impossible. From rolling out and launching 60-yard bombs to pulling off Hail Marys with jaw-dropping consistency. Rodgers wasn't just playing football, he was rewriting it. Analysts called him the most talented quarterback of all time. Fans admired his cool, his defiance, and his ability to make the spectacular feel routine. But legends, no matter how powerful, aren't immune to time. And now, the football world watches to see if the storybook career of Aaron Rodgers is approaching its final chapter. Not with another trophy, but with a quiet, uncertain fade. Rodgers was once considered unbreakable, but over time, the cracks began to show. A fractured collarbone in 2013, another in 2017, a torn calf, sprained MCL, broken toe. The list kept growing, yet somehow he kept playing, kept winning, until he couldn't. In 2023, 4 plays into his Jets debut, Rodgers fell, torn Achilles. The kind of injury that doesn't just test the body, it tests the soul. Recovery is grueling, and at 39, the odds are against a full return to form. The explosiveness that once defined him? Likely gone. The nimble footwork? Slower. And even if the arm is still elite, the rest of the machine is aging fast. Rodgers has always defied logic, but logic says an older QB, post-Achilles, isn't coming back better. He's coming back changed, and perhaps diminished. Age isn't just a number in the NFL, it's a ticking clock. Rodgers is now 41, playing in a league where the average player lasts just over 3 years. Sure, legends like Brady, Breeze, and Manning played into their 40s, but each saw a steep decline. Manning won a Super Bowl with one of the worst statistical seasons of his career. Breeze lost the deep ball. Brady, even in his final year, looked mortal. Rodgers isn't immune. His footwork has slowed. His ability to extend plays has diminished. His body doesn't bounce back like it once did. Each hit takes a little more. Each season feels a little heavier. And with the demands of a full 17-game season, plus playoffs, the toll could be too much. The question isn't whether he can play another season. It's whether he can play like Aaron Rodgers. Because the version we remember, the magician, the assassin, may already be gone. Rodgers' evolution isn't just physical, it's philosophical. In recent years, he's leaned into introspection. Ayahuasca, retreats, darkness therapy, spiritual journeys, media appearances that border on mystic. It's admirable in many ways. A man seeking clarity, healing, and purpose beyond football. But it also raises questions. Is his mind still on the field? Or has he already stepped off it? He's missed OTAs. He's spent more time on podcasts than playbooks. His presence in the locker room is felt, but is it leadership or just a legend standing in the corner? Younger players may be looking for a mentor and finding a philosopher instead. When a quarterback begins to search for life's bigger meanings, it often signals one thing. The fire that once drove them may be dimming. The Jets weren't just a team in transition. They were a team banking everything on Rodgers. They handed him the keys to the kingdom, hoping he'd be the savior. And for 4 plays, the dream was alive. Then came the injury, and everything fell apart. Without Rodgers, the Jets looked lost. Zach Wilson failed to rise. The offense stalled. The defense was overworked. Morale tanked. The magical season evaporated in an instant. Rodgers remained present, yes, on the sideline, in interviews, but not where it mattered most, under center. And now, as he returns, the pressure is unimaginable. This season is win or bust. And if it busts, the Rodgers experiment may go down as one of the biggest what-ifs in franchise history. Rodgers' legacy is secure, but that doesn't mean it's untouchable. Right now, he walks a thin line between legend and liability. The Jets are paying top dollar for a quarterback with no guarantees. Every dollar spent, every snap taken, carries risk. If he returns and plays like a shadow of his former self, his image could suffer. Worse, if he hinders the development of young talent or becomes a distraction, his final chapter might read more like a cautionary tale than a triumph. Is Rodgers here to elevate the team, or just to finish on his own terms? Rodgers has hinted at retirement many times. At one point, he claimed he was 90% retired before joining the Jets. His Achilles injury felt like a natural ending point. Yet, he returns, at least for now. But the question looms, does he really want this? Or is he afraid of the silence that comes after football? He says he doesn't want a farewell tour, but this season feels like one. One last run. One final shot. And if things go sideways, we may see him step away quietly. No press conference, no parade. Just gone. Rodgers has never done things the traditional way. And his retirement, if it comes, will be no exception. Life after football could take Rodgers in countless directions. He could join a broadcast booth, articulate, opinionated, and experienced. He'd be a natural fit. Or he might launch his own media platform, blending wellness, philosophy, and sports into something totally new. Maybe he mentors young quarterbacks, or maybe he disappears into nature, exploring life away from the spotlight. He's unpredictable, curious, and constantly evolving. Whatever he does next, one thing's for sure. Rodgers won't fade. His voice will remain loud, thoughtful, and impossible to ignore. Aaron Rodgers changed football. He changed how we see quarterbacks. He changed what we expect from greatness. But now, greatness faces its final test. The injury, the age, the pressure, the soul-searching. All of it leads to one final season, one final chapter in a career filled with brilliance and complexity. Will he rise one more time, or will this be the end? Let us know in the comments. Is Rodgers done? Or does he have one last miracle left? If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the biggest stories in football. Because the NFL isn't just about stats. It's about legends. And this legend, he may be about to take his final bow.